This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
I'm Katie Rammel with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. For the first time in the history of the United States, a former president is facing criminal charges. A Manhattan grand jury voted to indict Donald Trump today. The grand jury has been hearing testimony on hush money payments Trump's attorney paid adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Now, the indictment is under seal, so it's not known exactly what the charges are just yet. It's important to understand, though, what an indictment is. Legal experts say it's a formal name for presenting charges. Grand juries are tasked with determining if the case isn't strong enough to go to a criminal trial. It has nothing to do with determining guilt, and the burden of proof is far lower than what's needed for an actual conviction. In New York, grand juries are made up of 25 people. A majority must agree on that indictment. So here's what's next in all of this. Trump could be arrested, but more than likely he will turn himself in soon. Some people are now saying Tuesday. He'd then be processed into the system, which is where he'll be fingerprinted. Shortly after that, he'd be arraigned in his first appearance in front of a judge who will rule on bail and release conditions. At that point, the trial process officially begins as prosecutors form their case and Trump's lawyers make their defense. There is not any timeline for that process. At the legislature, Republican lawmakers were angry but not shocked by the news of this indictment. A representative from Scottsdale is co-sponsoring a bill which outlaws what he says are political prosecutions.
I am disappointed in my country, but I am not surprised. Frankly, our justice system has been weaponized for a while. It's gotten more and more weaponized recently.
We also talked with Senator Jake Hoffman, who is the leader of the Arizona Freedom Caucus, who says the indictment of Trump will only galvanize his supporters.
People of Arizona are going to rightly be upset by this, but what I believe we will see is that they will vote in bigger numbers than they've ever voted before for a candidate, Donald Trump, in both the primary and the general election in 2024.
We will have continuing coverage on this big story throughout the evening, on air and online, and streaming on our ABC15 apps. New Thursday, an Operation Safe Roads report that might not be surprising for some in Arizona. U.S. News and World Reports say that we have some of the most unsafe drivers in the nation. The magazine did a survey of cities in the U.S. 3 of the top 10 least safe cities are actually in Arizona. Tucson number 5, Phoenix at number 6, Mesa number 8, and drivers were reacting today.
Well, sometimes I'm holding on for dear life in this thing because no one respects this vehicle. That guy probably goes through the same stuff, you know what I mean? They cut you off, it doesn't matter. It sucks.
The study takes several factors into account, including drunk driving, fatal crashes per capita, among several other factors. Taking a look at the safest cities now, though, Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., and Minneapolis top that list. We found one big difference between them and Valley is public transportation. Census data shows in Phoenix, only about 3% of us take the bus or light rail to get to work. In New York, it's more than half of the population, a third in Boston, and an eighth of the population in Minneapolis. In health news, prescriptions for ADHD medicine surged during the pandemic, especially among adults, leading to a shortage of Adderall. According to the CDC, in 2021, prescriptions for the medication jumped more than 10% across most age groups. But women in their 20s and 30s were the biggest group of people to see an increase. The superintendent of the Phoenix Union High School District is leaving after 8 years. Chad Gueston is leaving to take the role of founding executive director of the Arizona Institute for Education and the Economy. It's set to launch on NAU's campus in July.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins. Lots of wind, rain, and snow across our state today as this latest storm pushed through. And tonight, chances for more before it clears out completely. As we look at Futurecast, about midnight, 1 a.m., you can see that chance mainly across eastern Arizona for some more rain and snow showers. Then the storm pushes out to the east. We dry things out across the state tomorrow, but see some more cloud coverage start to push in late in the day from the southwest. So here's your Valley Planner. Temperatures starting out in the 40s. days, ending up in the 70s tomorrow afternoon. These temperatures nearly 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, but headed in the right direction with those 80s back in our forecast for Saturday and Sunday. We do, though, have another storm system that will be digging down from the northwest Sunday and early next week. See more chances for snow up north and more wind across our state. Right now, our valley forecast is looking dry, but we've got another big cool down coming, taking us from 80 on Monday down to 66 on Tuesday.
For the very latest headlines, weather, and traffic, visit ABC15.com and download our free ABC 15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanders and Ford. All roads lead to Sanders and Ford.